Good afternoon. I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News, coming to you again from our digital desk. We want to take a look at one of a handful of new laws that are about to go into effect in the state of Ohio. They actually go into effect on September 30th. There's a new law that says if you're between 18 and 20, you have to take a driver's ed class. But the one we're going to talk about today is a ban on citation quotas. If you don't know what this is, I'm sure you've seen it in a movie or on television, this idea that a police officer or a deputy may be required to hand out X amount of tickets either a week or a month. And a lot of that has to do with generating money for a budget for a police department. Lawmakers down in Columbus on both sides of the aisle had bipartisan support, pitched this bill. It was voted in. This is something we have seen attempted a couple of times down in Columbus, but this year they got it done. It was signed by the governor and it goes into effect on Monday. I'm going to welcome in Mike Weinman. He is the Director of Governmental Affairs for the Ohio FOP. That's the Fraternal Order of Police. Mr. Weinman, thanks for joining us today. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having us.
Interesting topic here. I remember when I did this story a few months ago when it was pitched as a bill, I got a couple of emails, a couple of phone calls of people saying, wait, I thought this was already banned. Was this actually still happening?
Yes, there was just a small number of departments that were still had ticket quotas and arrest quotas. So the bill bans both ticket and arrest quotas.
Why is this? This may be a silly question, but from the FOP standpoint, one of the largest unions representing officers, why is this a bad idea?
Well, it took away officer discretion. You know, when you make these traffic stops, sure, you'll pull folks over and you'll go up and you'll have a conversation with them. And so, you know, at that point, you can decide there whether this warrants a citation or not. You know, when you have these ticket quotas, it's forcing you to give these citations out, regardless of what the circumstances are. And it really drives a wedge between the public and the police.
And we hear that a lot. You'll hear somebody who got a ticket or gets pulled over and they were legitimately speeding, but they say, oh, I only got the ticket because he's got a quota. So hopefully this will now take all of that away.
That's true. And usually that wasn't true. Then, you know, the person probably did deserve a ticket, but he needed an excuse.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about there is a reporting arm to this. So if a deputy or an officer is still being told by their chief or their sheriff post Monday that they still have to do this, I don't care about the law, I still need you to write 10 tickets today, there is an opportunity. Part of this law says that officer, that deputy should then report that action to the Ohio Attorney General, who would then look into the practice. Do you think that will actually happen? And isn't that sort of a, wow, I'm going out of the ranks and I'm going to go tell the Attorney General on my chief? Do you think that will work?
Yes, because it's anonymous. So if they were going through the chain of command, like you suggested, there might be an issue there for retaliation, right? But with an anonymous reporting, we feel that will be enough to get the Attorney General attention and get his investigation going. And, you know, our current Attorney General, Dave Yost, he would take up this investigation. You know, he's one of those people that would do that and make sure these departments are doing what they're supposed to be doing.
We were discussing just before we started, not only does the FOP support this ban on citations, you said you and your organization, you asked for this. Why? And why push so hard? And are you happy that come Monday, this is now law?
Yes, we are happy. It took 2 sessions to get this through. We had some opposition here in Central Ohio from a police chief here in Central Ohio who testified against these things. But we're really thrilled, because, these were being, these quotas were being used to evaluate officers. It kept officers from, not getting positions in SWATs and detective bureaus. It kept officers from getting promotions if they weren't meeting these quotas. So now, those things are gone. You cannot use this arbitrary number of tickets or arrests to hold an officer back.
Wow, didn't even consider that. Thank you for highlighting that. We certainly appreciate the time. I want to thank Mike Weinman. He is the Director of Governmental Affairs for the Ohio Fraternal Order of Police. Mike, thanks for joining us today. Thanks for explaining this new law.
Thank you.
All right, take care, sir. Again, because this is becoming law on Monday, we wanted you to hear from the people who supported this, who fought to get this law enacted. And again, September 30th, gone are quotas for tickets, citations, and arrests. If we have any other breaking news, it'll be right here on our digital platforms. Our 3.5 hours of news and weather, of course, is on Channel 19, starting at 3 o'clock. Until then, I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News. Have a great day. Alrighty, sir. Thank you so much for the time. We truly appreciate it.